Here to discuss is Byron York, Fox News contributor, David Schoen, former Trump impeachment attorney. Byron, let's start with you. So digging into this Axios piece, it looks like Besson put his foot down. He carries a lot of weight with the president. This is how the White House reacted.
The president has made it quite clear he thinks Jerome Powell is bad at his job, and the president has made it quite clear, as have many economists, by the way, that interest rates should be lowered, and they should have been lowered a long time ago.
But does he believe in the independence of the Fed, Caroline?
He has, and he said that many times.
Byron, the tyranny of the independent agency is what I'd like to focus on, because all this stuff about the investigation, to me, is actually beside the point.
Well, it is an important point, and you mentioned an enormous reduction in the federal workforce. That's a huge accomplishment on Trump's part. As far as this investigation is concerned, though, you mentioned the facts of the case, and the problem is we don't know the facts of the case. We do know the Fed building renovation is hugely over budget, which is not super unique in Washington. But beyond that, we just don't know anything. We do know it was really weird for the head of the Federal Reserve to release a video on Sunday night. The president himself has said he didn't really know anything about it. People seem to be pointing fingers at Jeanine Pirro. So it's kind of a weird case. And before anybody can really say anything definitive, we need to know what is the alleged wrongdoing here.
Yeah, David, it seems like it was almost leaked out to kind of kill it. I've been around Washington a long time, and that's how these things usually go. But from what you understand about Powell's testimony, and we can play it, where could there be potential trouble for him?
The idea here that is so troubling to me is that we see in the media and others fighting an investigation. Of course, he's presumed to be innocent of anything, any kind of wrongdoing, but how can anyone be against an investigation? We know that the project was overrun by millions and millions of dollars. And so, for example, on the civil front, there could be a lawsuit under 31 U.S.C. 3729, 3730 for filing false claims. Maybe not Powell. Maybe Powell didn't know about it. Maybe he did know about it. Maybe false invoices were filed, or maybe not. But we have to at least investigate, and that's the responsible thing that President Trump is doing, or his administration is doing. I understand he not involved with this. But to check on what caused the overruns. Was there any wrongdoing there? I don't understand this whole phenomenon of refusing to, of attacking an investigation. Same with Letitia James. Look, the evidence is there that they had her coming and going, it looks like. But wouldn't you at least like to know if the chief law enforcement officer of the state of New York did something illegal? Let's investigate, that's all.
Well, I think that in this particular case, Byron, because the Federal Reserve, again, has such outsized influence and power, I don't think anything that our framers ever understood or contemplated of this nature. And so there's so much outsized power and influence that it's under this protective shield. So you can never look at it. So apparently he could do anything with cost overruns or maybe triple the budget. I know that happens on Capitol Hill a lot. Look at the Capitol Visitor Center. That was like 4 times over budget. So nobody's above the law, they said, but I guess maybe the Fed is.
Well, in this case, I think perhaps it's the possibility or the existence of a criminal investigation that really caught people's attention, as opposed to some other sort of Washington-style inspector general sort of investigation that often goes on. So I think that was the major concern here. And as far as the founders and the Fed, obviously the founders didn't create a Federal Reserve, and this is solely a much later creation. It has enormous power, but the president has really tried hard to let him know what he thinks about Jerome Powell's job. He doesn't like it. He tried to remove Lisa Cook from the board. Hasn't worked. That's going to go to the Supreme Court really soon. So the president has had a really tough time having his way with the Fed.
Yeah, I mean, Doug, President Trump, I think, is 100% right in thinking the way Powell has handled these interest rates, at least last year, was abominable. I mean, it's clearly there seemed to be some type of effort to throw the country into recession, to keep this economy from taking off. And so the president's very frustrated by it. But the good news is Powell's done in May. He's over. They're just trying to pick his replacement.
That's right. I mean, listen, we see incredible success in the economy based on the Trump administration policies. We have a stock market that hits new records all of the time. We have gasoline prices down and so on. President Trump is doing something right with the economy, and he sees Fed policy as an obstacle to that. Quite frankly, I trust President Trump's instincts on the economy. We're seeing tremendous results right now.
Yeah, and it was funny because at one point CNN was talking about anxious investors as their little boxes on the bottom of their screen said Dow is up, S&P's up. So it was just ridiculous. Market just shrugged this all off as ridiculous. Byron and David, thank you very much.